So today, we're going to dive into the 99-sentence secret. It's a really simple, but honestly super powerful method that's all about unlocking your English fluency. And here's the kicker. It's not about studying more. It's about completely changing how you approach the whole thing. Hey, does this sound familiar? You've spent years maybe studying English. You've put in the hours, you've learned the rules, but when it's actually time to speak, you just freeze. It's a super frustrating place to be, and trust me, you are not alone. Yeah, this is what I call the English learning trap. You've got all this knowledge, you know the grammar, you have a big vocabulary, but it all feels locked up somewhere. The second a conversation starts, your brain just goes into overdrive, translating every single word from your native language. And that fear of making a mistake, it can be absolutely paralyzing.
But what if the answer isn't more studying, or more rules, or memorizing more words? What if the real secret is just learning to think in a completely different way? Let's get into that.
I know. This probably goes against everything you were ever taught. This idea that you have to be a walking dictionary to be fluent, that's actually the very thing that might be holding you back from having a natural, easy conversation.
So here it is. This is the big shift. The real secret is to switch off that internal translator in your head. The goal is to create a direct path from an idea to the English words coming out of your mouth. No middleman, no mental gymnastics. So, how do we actually do that?
Well, the answer is this number, 99. Now, this isn't just a random number. This is your toolkit. It represents the core, essential sentences you need to handle pretty much any daily conversation and build that direct pathway for thinking in English.
And this is what we're really aiming for. Thinking in English. It literally means your thoughts themselves start to form in English. These 99 sentences, they're like training wheels for your brain, helping it get used to forming those thoughts automatically, without the extra step.
So let's crack open this toolkit. I want you to think of this less like studying and more like, training for a sport. You're building conversational muscle memory, so the right words and phrases just come out, without you even having to search for them.
And the training itself, it's so simple, it's beautiful. Step 1, you listen really carefully to a sentence. Step 2, you repeat it out loud, twice. That's it. This double repetition is key. It helps lock the phrase not just in your mind, but in your mouth. You're actually training the physical act of speaking.
Let's look at a few examples from the toolkit. See, these aren't super complicated phrases, right? But they are the absolute building blocks of everyday conversation. Things like, "What have you been up to lately?" Or, "That sounds like a great idea." When you master these, you are ready for the vast majority of conversations you're going to have.
Okay, but having the tools is only half the battle. This technique also requires a certain mindset. It's all about being present. And there's this really powerful story that illustrates this idea just perfectly.
So the story is about a young man named Marco, and his mind was just a total storm of thoughts. He was constantly sad about the past, always worried about the future, and that left zero room for him to focus on the present. You know, this is exactly what it feels like when you're trying to speak English, but your mind is just cluttered with translation and fear.
So a wise man gives Marco a really simple task. He hands him a glass of water filled right to the very brim and says, "Walk through the busy village and back, but you must not spill a single drop." All of his focus, every ounce of it, had to be on that glass.
So he did it. He came back, not one drop spilled. And the wise man asked him, "So what did you see? What did you hear in the village?" And Marco's answer was, "Nothing." He didn't notice the dogs barking or the kids playing because his entire mind was focused completely on the present moment, on the task at hand. And in that focus, his restless mind finally became quiet.
And that, right there, is the secret. To truly think in English, you have to empty your mind of all that clutter, the fear, the self-doubt, that constant need to translate. You have to be fully present in the conversation, right here, right now, just like Marco was with his glass of water.
Okay, so we've got the toolkit, we've got the mindset. Now let's put it all together and see what this actually looks like in a real, natural-sounding conversation.
All right, so picture this. You bump into a friend you haven't seen in a while. Instead of that moment of panic, you've got these tools ready to go. "Long time no see, how are you?" They answer, and you've got a natural follow-up ready. "What have you been up to lately?" See how these sentences just flow? That's because you've practiced them. They become your automatic go-to responses.
And please remember this. The goal is not to be perfect. It's not about sounding like a textbook. It's about connection. It's about having a comfortable, natural conversation, even if you make a little mistake here or there. I mean, that's how real people talk, right?
Now, here's the most important takeaway. Just watching this once isn't going to cut it. The real magic happens with consistent daily practice. That repetition, that is the bridge that's going to take you from being a learner who freezes to a confident, natural speaker.
Look, fluency isn't some distant, impossible mountain you have to climb. It's a skill. It's something you build one sentence at a time. You have the tools now, and you have the method. You are so much closer than you think. So go on, start your practice today.